we on? Are we on? Are we on? If you can hear the music, we must be on. Good morning, everybody. It is what? It is 9:21 Pacific time. Wow. What a weekend, huh? What a weekend of insanity. Anyhow, first morning show. So if you're watching this show, this is my very first morning show for Silver is Money. And I've got a lot to talk about. I've got a busy day, so I'm going to try to buzz through this fast. We got a lot going on here today. But I want to start with the markets today. First of all, Bitcoin breaking 40,000. That was a key level of support. For those of you that do not know, quick lesson here. For those of you that don't know the difference between support and resistance, when you hear someone says, oh, the technical charts are talking support and resistance here, let's make it really simple here because it's not that difficult. All right. My job here is to teach you, to entertain you, have fun. Most importantly, educate you so you can think for yourself and make your own conclusions based on objective data. In other words, you know both sides of the story. Now, for some people, they don't have time for that. They just pay me to give them advice. And I do. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. This is entertainment. So just remember this. Nothing I ever say is ever financial advice. If you direct message me with a message that says, I know you're not giving financial advice, but I'd like your opinion on something, that's perfectly fine. Okay. That being said, what is support? Think of a three-story building. Okay. Think of dropping a bowling ball on the third story and it hits the floor and it holds there. That's called, it's being supported, right? That's support. Let's say that bowling ball hits the floor and goes through the drywall and hits the next level down, goes down one level and it stops. That's support. Okay. So now you know what support is. Well, support for Bitcoin was at 40,000. It broke support. So the bowling ball hit 40,000 floor, got support, and then broke through. It broke support. You just learned something new in the stock market. Wasn't that cool? Pretty simple, huh? Don't let the smart people fool you. This game is really simple until it gets down to having to make a decision about putting money in. That's when it gets difficult. Okay, so Bitcoin broke support. So now it's painted a chart. Now I believe it was 39,000. Six, there it goes. It got down to 36. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it got down to 39,958. I think it went lower than that too. Anyhow, so you see that Bitcoin broke support. This was key. What else happened today? The Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is down hard today. The Dow Jones was 1.2 points. It's right down. At one point, it was down 500 points, down minus 485 points. S&P 500 minus 76 point, NASDAQ minus 309. We're going to talk about tech here in a second. Tech and Bitcoin. Why are they both going down at the same time? It's pretty simple. One's technology, the other one's technology. You got a bunch of geeks and a bunch of nerds investing each other, using leverage, screwing things up. And in the markets here, it's no doubt when we see Bitcoin start to dive, we'll probably see the NASDAQ go down first. Isn't that funny here? That's why they have all those. If you look at the big letter of unsealed documents that was posted on a Q board a couple years back, look it up. You go find it. Sealed documents. Go look at Central California, Northern California. What's there? Silicon Valley. What's going on in Silicon Valley? All these sealed documents. Tech headquarters. Pelosi, Zuckerman, Dorsey. All these crazy tech guys here. Are they all buying Bitcoin? Are they selling Bitcoin to cover losses in tech? Are they selling tech to cover losses in Bitcoin? We'll see about that. My prediction still holds. I will tell you, there is going to be a crash in Bitcoin. We are going to see 200, 400,000 to 600,000 Bitcoin thrown out on the markets, and it's going to crash the price even deeper. Watch and see. This is a no-brainer here. And then I just posted a few minutes ago, none other than who? Gary Gensler. Watch the video I posted on my feed, Silver is Money. Now, Gary Gensler is the boss at the SEC, but he also used to be the boss at the CFTC. For those of you who know what that is, that's Commodities, Futures, and Trading Commission. They used to oversee and protect all the silver investors from the people shorting silver, right? Wrong. They never protected anyone over there. People invested in silver got wiped out by what was going on. The shenanigans at the COMEX. Still going on right now. Look at the price of silver. Silver should be at $125 an ounce right now. But All is not lost for those of you that came in late in silver. Thank God they're suppressing silver. The suppression of the price, it may irritate other people, but if you're me and you got new people coming on, get that silver. They're holding it down. 800 million ounces of short silver at Bank of America. Fake papers holding that silver price down. Get that cheap silver. It's cheap. It won't always be cheap. One day it'll take off and you'll be wondering, why didn't I buy that silver when that dude Perez was talking about buying silver cheap? It's being artificially suppressed. That means steal the silver. You're getting it cheap. It's not just for you. It's they're holding it down because if they let it go, it'll wipe out the markets. And Bitcoin, John, why is Bitcoin still going up? Because they're using tethered derivatives to falsely support the price. I will say this over and over and over again. Fake tether promoting fake Bitcoin, fake silver holding down real silver. That game is going to end. And when that game ends, you know what it's going to create? Something called decoupling. What is decoupling? Think of two trains going down the road and one decouples. They separate. And all of a sudden, everything's going down. And all of a sudden, one goes up, one goes down. They decouple. You'll see silver take off, and then everything else goes down. And for a while here, for a moment, I screenshot it, put it on Silver as Money there. You'll see silver was green when Bitcoin was at 39,000 and the Dow was down 500 points. Silver was green 1 penny. Now, that may not sound like a lot to you, but it's painting a chart. And for those of us that are in the business watching closely, we keep an eye on these little things. I like it. All of you guys out there should be looking for decoupling. What's that? When it decouples, I want to make sure the day you see silver take off and everything else crashing, I want everyone to put in all capital letters, decoupling rocks. Okay. Okay, so make sure you watch the video with Gary Gensler. What is he doing? He said it on there. We're not here to discuss certain topics in the public arena. He's talking about crypto and regulation. Well, of course you don't talk about these things in public. If he did, Bitcoin would probably go to zero, or crypto would go off the cliff, or they could go straight up. We don't know, but we must speculate here. You want my opinion? Here's my opinion. My opinion is this. They're going to come in and put FDIC standards and possibly Basel III standards, which I believe are already embedded into FDIC. They're going to put FDIC banking standards on crypto, and it's going to be over for most of them. Because what do they have backing them? They have nothing. A dog? I don't know. Who knows? Some do. If they do, hey, we're happy to check out the survivors. But in the meanwhile, those of us who don't like to take major risk with money that magically disappears, not interested. We'll wait and hold our silver and gold, right? Here's another thing. Scammers. Oh my gosh. By the way, if you've been on my Silver is Money, there's someone out there using my name. It's a scammer. I do not promote XLM. I don't know what it is. The XLM scammers came here to this feed and started scamming everyone. So if you see anything that has to do with XLM or XRP, which I don't like XRP because it's 8% owned by the Rothschilds. Now, some people may say, well, John, the White Hats have taken over. I don't give a shit because until I get confirmation, I don't care. I'm not risking my money on something where I know the same idiots that are controlling the Federal Reserve are waiting to get you in a XRP coin, which is a total surveillance tracking device. Do you hear that? XRP is a tracking and surveillance coin. There you have it. You want more evidence? Type in digital yuan. They can expire your money. So those of you who like to gamble, you go to Vegas, throw money on the table. Great. You can lose money right in front of you. But those who like to throw Vegas on a screen and lose your money, the idea of expiration doesn't appeal to me. I'd rather hold silver. I'd rather hold gold. How do you like that? So anyhow, check out Gary Gensler. And he kind of caught my attention. I thought this was really interesting. He said, we don't discuss this in public. Well, let's go back to Executive Order 13818. What have I said constantly in the crypto conspiracy? I said, there will be no warning. There will be no notice. Really? Let me say that again. There will be no warning. There will be no notice. Everyone's saying, well, come, no one's getting arrested. No one's doing this because there will be no warning and there will be no notice. If you took all your conspiracy theories and everything you're reading out there and Data World, Q World, and everything, and you just read the executive orders, you'd say, oh, here's the TV guide, how it's going to do. Like Perez says, Section 7, 1318, no notice, no warning. No wonder they're not telling us what they're doing. Of course not. It said very clearly there, they don't want them to move their money. If you give them a notice, they'll move their money out to Timbuktu or New Zealand or something like that and hide and run. Well, in a sting operation, you don't want to tell the bad guys what you're doing. And Trump was very clear in his speeches. He would never disclose his plans. Guess what? They're sticking to that. Whether you like it or not, may not feel good, but I don't know. For some reason, there's a lot of celebrities dropping dead of COVID these days. I wonder why that's happening. I just trust my own trusty immune system. Cheers to you silver patriots, 9:30 a.m. I had to have my morning coffee, my second cup. I had some really good real bread today baked with ancient grains and real grass-fed butter. I like everything new, even bulletproof coffee. Bulletproof my coffee. That's how you stay healthy. 20 years of triathlons, 20 years personal trainer. I know fitness, I know health. And for those wondering, I am 60 years old. Okay, born in 1961. JFP. What were you wonder why I got my initials JFP? Well, my father loved JFK. And if you want to know where I'm from, both my parents are from Nicaragua, Central America. Okay, next one's here. NASDAQ, going to go through zero hedge, going to go through quickly. Then we'll talk about Kazakhstan. That's a big story. Okay, right here. This is big. This is big, big, big. NASDAQ enters, quote, correction. What else has entered correction? Bitcoin has entered correction. What's on the NASDAQ? Tech stocks. Who are buying tech stocks? Nerds, people who buy Bitcoin, people who are techies like Bitcoin, crypto, NASDAQ. They're all going down simultaneously. Wow. I'm wondering if that large list of sealed indictments has been applied yet. I don't think it has. I think if they just started arresting people, they said there's 3,000, 5,000 sealed indictments in Northern and Central California. Boy, wait till that hits, right? Wait till that hits. That's a big one there. For you, those of you that do not know what I'm talking about, go to Q Alert and just go in there, sealed indictments. I'll post it on later on. It's a mind bender. The majority of sealed indictments out there are based in Central California and Northern California. And what is in that area? Pelosi, Feinstein, Newsom, San Francisco, where people shit on sidewalks. And some reason they can steal $950 from a store and not get punished. What's going on up there? What's going on in Central California? Oh, Bohemian Grove. What else is going on in Northern California? Something's going down here. And when it goes down, NASDAQ and Bitcoin are going to go down. And today, NASDAQ entering correction territory is a wonderful thing. So let's keep an eye on what's going on on the NASDAQ here. This is actually good. Is it good for silver? Hell yes. Hell yes. Excuse my language there. No, what? We're uncensored. We can say these things. Okay, Minsky moments almost certainly await. In other words, crash time is coming. Bitcoin loses 40,000. Ether below 30,000 as cryptos suffer worst start to the year ever. Did you see my call there? I said a $2 trillion crypto wipeout. Look it up. I posted on there. $2 trillion wipeout. John Perez put the Nate out there. Bitcoin and crypto started at 66,666. Bitcoin and crypto will lose $2 trillion. I made the call January 5th. I am sticking with that call. I still say Bitcoin's going to $4,200. We ain't seen nothing yet. This thing is going to go down in flames. All right, let's skip forward. I want to make this really, really quick. It's my first show, and I'm a little shy and kind of a rookie here, but let's talk about this. There's a lot, two items we're going to talk about. Ooh, Tesla under $1,000. Tesla, run by the transhumanist himself, Elon Musk. All right, look at this. This is a big story here. I'm doing an interview at 12 o'clock, and I'm going to be talking about this. Zero Hedge put it out. The reason why I'm going fast is because I wasn't going to put out this story till today, but it was accelerated this weekend by the events in Kazakhstan. How can you say that, John? Let me read this to you. This is big. Kazakhstan denies U.S.-funded quote, military biological lab, quote unquote, seized by rioters after Russia claims potential pathogen leak. Now let's put Kazakhstan in context here first. Kazakhstan has the largest border with Russia. You saw Russian troops go down there, which in my opinion is a positive to see Putin moving into Kazakhstan. I'm all for that. That's my opinion. You disagree? Not my problem. I've been following the Middle East and all these things here with Russia, Ukraine, over a decade. And I've reported on this here for over a decade here. Kazakhstan is very, very complex, though. So be careful. Whatever you're reading out there, let the data come in because it's going to unfold. There are some things I believe we're never going to get exposed to. It's never going to be reported. I believe that now. And seeing this military biological lab seized by rioters makes big news after this. Who said it? Kazakhstan denies U.S.-funded military biological lab seized by rioters after Russia claims potential pathogen leak. Wait a second. Who claimed it? Russia flies in and claims pathogen leak? Kazakhstan denies? What did Putin find here? What did he know? And when did he know it? You remember when Putin handed off that football, that soccer ball to Trump? What did it look like? All right. What was in that soccer ball? Okay. And Putin said, hey, I'm giving you the ball. The ball's in your court. Okay. Now, this is going to go a big, deep rabbit holes coming here. What else about Kazakhstan? Okay. Biological leap. What else? Bitcoin miners. 18% of Bitcoin mining in Kazakhstan gone. Is it now the internet's back on, but Bitcoin is still going down? What's going on? These special forces going on. There's a lot of things happening that I will speculate on. I will tell you this right now. Many of the things I'm going to tell you will never be reported in the news. And that's just the way it is in these kind of events when you've got probably the most the heaviest security ever and secrecy going on, because we're seeing the changing of the guard. We're seeing regime change elements. We're seeing Maidan elements like Ukraine Maidan. We have Russians going in there. We've got Russia dealing with Ukraine and NATO. Very, very complex. I'll try to keep this as simple as possible. I'm going to do a second show to bring up more details here. If Russia claims there's a potential leak and it's U.S. funded, I don't think they're going to make a statement like that unless they can follow up and prove it. Now, what happens when they sit down with NATO and start talking about Ukraine and the problems with Ukraine and NATO threatening Russia? And they come in and say, by the way, NATO, did you know that your U.S. partners financed a biological weapons lab in Kazakhstan? Tell you, think about that. All these talks here, they're ongoing. This entire situation is fluid and changing, and you're watching the fog of war. So listen to everything. There's not going to be not one person is going to be able to say, here's what's happening here. There are many things happening. When these Russians came in to drop in and, quote, stabilize the area here after being requested by the Kazakhstan president, what are the odds that maybe some observers of another nation were with the Russians coming in there grabbing data? How about when they burned down the buildings? What was in those buildings? Now, remember this. Write this down. Uranium 1, Kazakhstan. Where did the uranium come from? Much of it. It came from the Clinton and Hillary organizations, Clinton Initiative. They did a deal with the Kazakhstan president, okay? You see where I'm going here? This is bigger than it looks. When that building was burning, who was in there and what were they doing? Were they burning the building or were they grabbing files, clandestine files here to uranium deals? Ooh, what's going on here, Perez? What's going on here? Are we seeing a false flag that was hijacked? There's a lot going on here. A lot of these guys, terrorists, they were paid to go in there. They got them on tape. They said they were getting paid $200 to do this. They've captured 6,000 or 8,000 of these people here. This is big. This is deep. I'm still digging into this thing here. But just remember this. Kazakhstan leads to uranium 1. Go to my feed. Go to the search engine on Telegram and type in hashtag sum of all fears. Okay, this has to do with the video I'll be doing today at noon with David Morgan. Okay, what else here? Let's scroll down the line here. Same day, NATO prepared. This. So Russia says there's a U.S. funded lab in Kazakhstan, and they're going to go back to the talks with Ukraine, and they're going to go there and they're going to say, wait a second here, excuse me, NATO. Um, Looks like we found a possible U.S. lab here. We can't confirm that, but that's what they're saying. Russians are usually pretty good. Russians know through history they have to come to the table when it comes to international talks and geopolitical talks, whether it's Lavrov, Peskov, or Putin. They have to come to the table with solid, concrete evidence. Something tells me that what they have there, what they got in Kazakhstan, they have concrete evidence as to what was going down here. The next headline, right underneath this, listen to this. This is crazy. NATO prepared for, quote, new armed conflict in Europe with Russia if talks fail. Oh, so we don't get along, so let's start war. So everybody in Germany is freezing. People in Ukraine are freezing. And by the way, hello to all my European friends. A lot of you, Finland, Sweden, Ukraine, Latvia, where else? I've had Germans call me, and the Dutch. 2% of my audience is Dutch. Thank you. Thank you for being here. NATO says new armed conflict in Europe. Well, let's stop and pause for a second here. Did NATO, did Mr. The madman Stoltenberg decide to tell everyone, hey, listen, are you guys okay with armed conflict? Maybe World War III with Russia because we just can't seem to get along in our talks? No, of course he didn't. Who's he speaking for? If Russia talks fail, what do you mean talks fail? Is anybody responsible for this? Is Russia going to show up with evidence that there's a live lab in Kazakhstan? You know, people were asking in the news, CSTO, all these troops coming in. When you hear the term CSTO, just put NATO on it. It's basically it's a NATO of the Eastern Bloc, the former Eastern Bloc, what used to be called the Warsaw Pact. You've got many nations in there, all former Soviet states, working just like NATO, working as a group to go in there. They came in there and they helped stop the madness on here. So I haven't figured out whether the president here was set up and there were two things happening here. There's multiple things happening there. So that's a fluid area there. So don't hold me to anything here. I'm going to keep an eye on this, but this situation is going to apply to the new uranium conspiracy I have coming on. Okay, if you want to look at a movie today, make sure you go watch The Sum of All Fears. You must see that. Okay, another article here. I just posted this. Alert. Last time this happened, gold surged 75% and miners soared 140%. Did you hear that? Miners soared 140%. How do you like that? Gold surged 75% the last time this happened. This is dated January 10th. What does it say here? Okay, it's technical. I'm going to throw the article. I'm not going to go into it because it's just so technical. Make sure you see the King World News articles here. It looks like we have gold formed flag formation, Australian dollars. Gold, headlines. Gold broke out and back tested in the Chinese yuan. Gold broke out and back tested in Swiss francs. Do you hear that? Gold is breaking out in all other currencies but the US dollar. Don't get caught up with the dollar. Don't get caught up with the day-to-day. It's down, it's up, it's down, Perez. Nothing happened. You see, nothing's happening. I hear that shit every day. I've been doing this until it's always that way. It's always the people that don't understand geopolitics and how it affects markets. Remember this. I don't care what anyone tells you. Gold and silver, Dow Jones can do this and this. You just take a nuclear bomb and drop it on a city. It all goes straight down and gold will straight up. There it is. Everything else is in between. So just remember that. Gold and silver, this article, King World News, it's on the feed. Gold is breaking out in multiple currencies. And that is a beautiful thing here. Okay, what else? That's it, huh? SEC chair. I went over quite a few things here. Ah, gosh, that tastes so good. For those of you that are new here, I have a couple other channels. Silver is Money News is a real channel. There's Silver Gold Stocks. Just remember this. I will never ask anyone or mention crypto ever If anyone ever says, oh, this uses, because my name's being used out there and I can't stop these scammers. These XLM scammers are relentless thieves. They want your banking information. They don't want you to own silver gold. They want to steal. They want to put you into the trick bag of crypto just when Gensler is about ready to regulate everything. That's the last place you want to be. Play safe. I'm a conservative dude. I've been in silver gold full time. My entire career is gold, silver since 2006. I'll even say 2005 because I had some clients buying a ton of gold way back then when it was cheap, like $345, $365 an ounce. That was cheap. If you looked at gold after 9/11, you were smart. You thought, wait a second, buildings are falling down. Look at gold. It's at a gazillion year low. It was 200, I think it was $265. Not too far after 9/11. And then it went geopolitical strife, right? What happened to those buildings? To me, 9/11 was a self-inflicted wound. We're going to pull the buildings. We're going to pull it. Everyone leave. We're going to pull it. Watch Building 7. Pull it. All went down. That is called a self-inflicted wound. Now, you can call it a conspiracy. Or you can call it a truth. I know what I saw. I did my research on that. That was my red pill. That was my wake-up call. And even then, I was awake because I remember going way back into the 90s when Waco got blown up. I go back that far. Okay, so anyhow, it's a good morning. I'll be back this afternoon. I've got an interview in 2 hours with David Morgan. I got to get this thing going here and get the script in place. A lot of pieces of the puzzle. Thank you for being on Silver is Money. Do me a favor. Take the link. Please share the invite link to Silver is Money. Let's get as many people on here. The most important thing to know is this. I love this news show. I love bringing this information, but more than anything, you are the news. You are the news. Not just me. You are the news. You have the data here. Share it with other people. You notice I didn't talk anything about COVID. I'm so sick of that scam. It is such a scam. I'm sorry for those who got jabbed. Please, I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor or anyone else, but, please, consider doing some research on ivermectin, MMS, chlorine dioxide. Do your research, not advice, not a medical doctor, not medical advice. Do some research there. I've done a ton. I love that stuff. Okay, I'll come up with something. As soon as I turn this camera off, I'm going to remember something else. So anyhow, I will see you this afternoon. Tell me if you like these morning shows. If you like this morning show, please let me know. Please let me know if you like this morning show. And if you're not in silver gold stocks, you want to learn about gold and silver stocks after you've gotten your physical silver position so you can hear my opinions on things, message me for a link. But let me know if you like this morning show. I will talk to you guys later. Over and out.